I'm a 70s baby, so that means I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. And I believe in the 90s there was a movie called Pee Wee Herman. And I really liked that movie. But one of the taglines that he would do, he was kind of a goofy character. But one of his taglines is when he would mess up or knock something over or make a mistake, he would say, I meant to do that. And if you're going to struggle well, there can be times in your life when you look like you're in the middle of a mess. But if you serve God, God has a plan, a strategy for your life. In other words, you got to believe that when you come into a dire situation, God is saying, I meant to do that, because he knows the trying of your faith worketh patience. Listen, let me share a scripture with you. Come from Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Listen, if you're going to struggle well, you're going to hit some ditches in your life. You're going to hit some setbacks in your life. You're going to have some times where you're going to say, Master, do you care that I perish? You're going to have some situations where you're just like, God, really? But what you got to understand is God will never bring you to it without bringing you through it. And not only that, but he has a plan. And sometimes if you ever baked a cake, things get messy before the cake tastes good. In other words, you got to crack some eggs, you got to sift some flour, you got to whisk and whip and blend and all of that kind of stuff. It don't look like much, but it's a process. And God is saying to you, I know the thoughts that I think towards you. And I don't have thoughts to harm you, but I have thoughts to prosper you and bring you to an expected end. In other words, struggle well, because the plan is taking you to a prepared place.